Okay, great. Hello, we are day 3, step into territory, acting without fears. What about
Hello,
acting
guys.
about fears? What do you think about it? Our Ignite Intensive needs the ignition, and our territory has to be conquered. What territory are we talking about today?
Yeah, we're talking about acting without fear. Yeah, becoming an active strategist, leading with courage into the new ground. And it will depend where you really want to go. Where's your
Yeah.
destination from point A to point B?
Yeah. The destination is not the goal, really. We all think
Yeah.
that when we get there, something else will happen. Not really. We are the creatures of the dream. We are the creatures of the fantasy and illusion. So there is never a satisfaction in a point B. I promise you, I've had so many points B throughout my life, big accomplishments, huge achievements. And as soon as that happens, you want something else. And there was a study that when you buy something for yourself, whether it's $5 or 5 million, the reaction within the body is the same. You are inspired for 5 minutes, you're very happy, and then you want something else. So the study shows you should do small little steps, little purchases, satisfy yourself a little bit at a time to give yourself the state, because everything is about the state. And so we were talking about this month's strategy, this month's planning. This month is about understanding who you are, who's in charge of you, who you are in charge of, because sometimes we take charge of some things that are not ours. And the territory is here, for me at least. The territory is here. If you cannot conquer this territory, and if you cannot act on that, what happens here, then you are not in charge of you. And even if you don't have a husband or a wife or the mother or the father or the children or anybody else who is in charge of you in physical world, still here you have the words after phrases, after ideas, after conflicts that you've incorporated as yours, but they have nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. So how to become an active strategist? That's what we're going to talk about. Leading with courage, conquering the new ground without listening thousands of people that are sitting at your control panel pushing the buttons. Don't push my buttons. Don't push my buttons. Okay. What is the true
Yes.
strategist?
The strategist doesn't only see the path, yeah, they step into the unknown field. And of course, we really know what's going on be there, but not exactly. And good strategists just don't think, work on the strategy, raise the energy, and act. And of course, for some numbers, it's easier. Yeah, for those who was born on the 1st, 10th, 19, 28, for them, it's a little bit easier to take this action, even if they don't know what's going to be as a next step. For number 9, it's also a little bit easier because they're more active. They're like pushing numbers. They really want like to act and to move. It's not all the time in the right direction, as we can see during our sessions, but at least they can see this kind of movement. And today, when I was recording the cycle on the Telegram, sharing with my online club, we have online club with people who finish our coaching program in Russian. And once they finish, they stay with us for as long we're gonna be closer to Syucai. And every Tuesday we have our calls. And yesterday we were talking about strategy because I shared the idea of strategy, the idea of raising the energy, because the true strategist, this is not who sits and works with a piece of paper and a pencil, but also act, because he becomes like example for others.
Right. And what's interesting about this month of strategy is that you have 21 days. We will post a little bit every day to start conquering your own territory. What does it mean? When you don't have enough energy, you don't have enough ideas. Not enough ideas, not enough money. Not enough money, not enough energy, not enough ideas, and so on. But the strategy is something you do always. It's not something you do in this moment. So in order for you to do anything consistent, you need to have a certain amount of energy. And we talked a lot about moving, drinking water, having a positive surrounding around yourself. What does it mean to have your territory protected? Energy, last month's energy 9. It means that you understand that when you are surrounded with like-minded people, when you have support moving in the direction that is interesting for you, not necessarily I give you money or I give you advice, but I am with you because it's also interesting for me. That's where you really get a true energy, because energy is not material thing. It's not something you get from anybody. Energy is everywhere. It's like electricity. If you don't switch on the lamp, you don't know it's on. That electricity is there. But when you do switch it on, you see the electricity is there. And when you switch it off, it doesn't go anywhere. So with people, it's the same thing. Everybody is electrical being. They're around you. And being in charge of you means I choose who I bring into my environment. And then often I'm asked a question, okay, fine, but you have all kinds of people. People come with their problems, people come with crisis. I am a crisis manager, of course. Business people come with, I'm losing all my money, $6,000. Oh my God, now it's 2 million. And truthfully, I had somebody who has said, no more gambling. But I'm not gambling. I'm actually sitting at the computer and I'm doing crypto, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it is gambling. It's a game. You want to play? Go online, play some children game. Do not play with the money you don't have. So surrounding yourself with people who are moving into the same direction. And it's really hard to find these people, for me at least. Everyone is a client, okay, great. But where do you find the people that you want to go online with, that you want to discuss things, that you want to create things, right? For that, Vasily has organized a club. Now he has like-minded people talking to him every Tuesday, and they talk about, I organized Vasily, now we're talking. But I'm also, right now, I'm with a different mentor. His name is Sergey Oleshko. He is amazing in his energy. He's like, whoa, energy. So I signed up for that as well. Why? I believe that amazing people are not everyday encounter. Sometimes you find them, sometimes you don't. But you need to take charge of who you're with. You need to take your body, mind, and spirit and bring it where you belong, instead of complaining about people that you don't belong with. So that is rule number 1. You think that you're smarter than other people, put yourself with the people that are smart enough to challenge you. And you will see how smart you are in 2 seconds. So leadership is about taking charge of yourself and then taking action, doing that which you believe is right for you. But then we have the fear. Everybody does. What do we do with that?
Yeah, fear of failure, yeah? Yes, that's so scary. And
what if it's not going to happen?
But it's one part of the fear, yeah? But what another side that I realized recently, that we are not afraid of failure, we're afraid even the success. Because if I need to be like in success, it means I need to lose my old fears. Yeah? But
not just the fears, the old territory, the old thinking,
all
the old
territories,
growth,
yeah, all beliefs, everything. But without movement, there is no new territory. You really need to understand as well. And think about what kind of person you have to become with new territories and with new responsibilities. Because as high you grow, there's the risk you're gonna take more responsibility, and if you're ready to take this. And
right.
that's why we have this kind of opportunity to know ourselves better. Based on our date of birth, of course, we have this kind of answers. What's our strengths, weaknesses? What can help us during this path when we go to the new territories. Because many years ago, I decided to immigrate to Canada, and we lived there for 20 years. It wasn't so easy. For the first, how many years, Svetlana? 3, 5 first years. It's like,
where do I belong and who am I here? And how
yes,
can I speak even with these people?
yeah. And after 20 years living in Canada, we decided just travel the world, just be closer to a bit to our school, to our Institute of Dubai here. And right now we live in Europe. We're creating new neurological bridges here, and we decided to work on ourselves and our strategies here to become, for example, in my case, English speaking master of Syucai and spread the word about Syucai, be a very efficient, productive coach. And thanks, Svetlana, I learned a lot from your strategy because you have a very strong energy, you have a very great experience. And guys, we are lucky. We are lucky to be in Svetlana's energy. Svetlana?
Okay, I'm lucky to be in everybody's energy because, in fact, my body is very empathic. I can read people like a map because my body does not have anything consistent. It comes from another studies and another experiences, but I know that when I'm with people, I get the energy or I lose the energy. So it took me years to understand how to sustain my energy. And to sustain your energy that you can use to conquer your territory and to do something new, you need to find that sense of wonderment. Why is it so? Not why is it so? Everybody's, why my money is gone? Why is it so?
Why is it so?
Yeah, it's a totally different attitude. And that you can do actually. You can ask the question with the idea of blaming and complaining, or you can ask the same question with the idea, I'd like to know. And like Vasily said, going into unknown is very scary. And when we know, it's not as scary. But we never realize what we know is a subjective idea of what might happen, which might not happen. It might just be an
That's
idea,
all. Yeah.
right? And it could be 50-50. It will happen or it will not happen. So at least 50% chance you still have for things to happen your way. But the truth of the matter is you never know and things never happen your way because we think linearly. If I do this, that will happen. Not necessarily, because we are not in charge of the whole universe. We're only in charge of our own universe. And within that universe, what you plan remains in your subjective reality, and you might see it in subjective reality, but outside of you, other people might see other things. You might think of yourself this way, other people think this way. And how to understand if you are congruent with that which you know? Very simple. You look at the result. This is the territory. This is my boundaries. This is the people I've attracted. This is the money I have. Those are the things that I'm doing that give me a material result or an immaterial result, which is even more important and more expensive because you only can grow. You can only occupy the space and conquer the territory when you think expensively, right? So expensive means you need to invest. The expensive things do not come cheap. I was driving yesterday and in front of me was the car. Good things are not cheap. Cheap things are not good. I was laughing. It's so true. Right, because we're trying to be expensive, but we don't want very often to invest into things that make us expensive, which is immaterial, because illusions are also immaterial. Fear is also immaterial. And you cannot conquer the fear with the fence. You cannot put the fence in front of you or put the wall in front of you to protect yourself from people, right? You cannot even build the wall to protect the state from the other state invasion, right? Even though they have lots of money for that. So you can only protect yourself with being in a vibrational quality of the strategist. The strategist is the person in charge of yourself, in charge of your territory, in charge of thinking, and in charge of your emotional state. You can bring yourself from what's going on to what's going on. And just by this simple act, you gain your territory, right? So the question is, the reflective question. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we prepared 3 questions, guys, as always. We always practice. The first one, what is territory of life I'm afraid to enter, but deeply desire? This is the first question. Very important. Second one, how does fear of losing the familiar stop me from moving forward? And the third one, what does it mean for me to lead myself with love and courage?
That's the big
And
one. That's the big one.
yes,
Because we
yes,
lead
yes.
ourselves with push and criticism.
Yes, yes, and there has been a lot of talks about courage, and our teacher Janat has been talking a lot about energy and courage just to go and get this world to get results. And of course, courage is something interesting that we really don't know how to work on it. Sometimes we use it, this is courage, just when we have kind of competition, let's say in sport. But what about if you really need to go and present in front of, let's say, 10 people, 20 people? For most of the people, this is disaster. But we can train ourselves just working on this courage by raising energy and work on our competences. And strategies, they just show us how to do it like in easiest way. And you can look around. Of course, there are some people that can teach you how to do it. And if you don't find anyone like this, of course, we invite you here. Just participate, be more active, ask questions. Yeah, we have like full months right now, and let's just raise our energy regarding the strategy.
Right. And we actually decided after today, because we do 3 days and then we give you 21-day prompts, we decided to invite those of you who are interested in trying to be a little more outgoing, a little more proactive. We invite you to speak. If you want to do 10,
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes conversation about the topics that we are talking about here, or you have your own topic about strategy, or maybe you're a strategist at work, maybe you're a manager at work, maybe you work autonomously, maybe you have a personal territory in which you work. This is the topic that is practical. It's not just theory. You have to be a strategist of your life. It's a practical, everyday action that you must take in order to move in this life according to your plan and your path. Otherwise, somebody else will move you. How it happens is very simple. We have this Pareto rule in which 80% of the people are consumers and 20% of the people are the sellers. 80% of people are struggling, 20% of people are making money. And of course, those 20% are not monogamous. There are all kinds of fluctuations that we will talk about later in the masterclass. But what's important that if you're on 80%, you will always buy. If you're on 20%, you will sell and then you'll buy what you want. 80% of the people are buying what they're told to buy. And if you go to any store, you will see those 20% of the people and 80% of the people. So if you're active, if you're proactive, if you're selling yourself, which is I'm here and I'm just sharing who I am, and that is the sale, right? Because we constantly sell ourselves to others, to our husbands, to our wives, to our children. We sell our ideas, we sell our look, our brand, our clothes. We want to look good. Why? Because we want somebody to buy it, somebody to accept us, somebody to follow us, somebody to listen to us. And so this is your opportunity and your space to do that. And we will be happy to bring you in. But I also want to talk about a set of cards that I've created. Great. Anna wants to do it. That's wonderful. I will send you the topics. But I want to show you the cards. Those are the card set that I've created that's connected to the fear. So right now, for our audience, I'm going to pull the card. This is the very first card, and it's the cover of the set. And it's called Brave and Unstoppable Soul Voyage with the Tricksters. And on the other side is the Firefly. And it's a fear of stagnation. And how appropriate that this came in, because we don't see all the people in our chat on the broadcast. We see the people who say, I can do it. And that is wonderful, because Firefly is trying to control creative flow. Yeah, you know, they light up when they come up from the ground.
Yes.
But very often they're not coming up from the ground. You know what gets them from the ground, at least in my backyard? If I walk and I move, they go up, because they either scared or that I step on them, or they have no place anymore. And most of us are like that. We're waiting for somebody to push us, to pull us, to step on us, and then we start acting. So I am afraid of creative blocks. I don't feel good enough. I am sure nobody will like my work. I feel I need to satisfy everyone's expectations. Is it about you? If you want to be a leader of your life, trying to satisfy other people's expectations, it might never happen for you. So she feels frenzied, frantic, agitated, demoralized sometimes, and sometimes so limited that my light will never light up. But if you want your light to light up, just like I said, electricity is everywhere. You just need to push the button, and not the fear button. Oh, I will not do it because if then I will do it. But the button of your soul desire, your consciousness, your number of consciousness is what you want all the time. So if you're born on the first, you want to rule. You want to be a manager. Let's go through the whole list. What do they want? Yeah. If the summary of the first 2 days of your birthday, which is the day on which you were born, if the summary is 1, this is the one who wants to be the manager and be the ruler and the strategist. Let's go.
For those who was born on the first 10th, yes, 19 and 28th.
Yeah. So, and then the second.
For those who was born on the summary of 2, it's 2nd, 11th, 20th, and 29th. Yes. We're talking about that type of thing, yeah? Or
yeah, what they want. They want people to understand them, to
the
build
vector of ego.
Yeah,
the vector of ego, yes. They really want to understand everyone and every situation. And that's why they're going to put like a lot of energy and focus to understand everything, asking a lot of questions.
Because that's their strategy. They want to be understood, right? That's the strategy.
Yes. They really want to understand and really want to be understood, yes. And for number 3s, for those who was born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th, they really want to analyze everything. And just to make sure that they can get a profit from every movement. Every movement, we really want to get a profit.
So that's their strategy. They will look for the money.
Yes. Strategy look for money. And for those who was born on the 4th, 13th, 22nd, and 31st, the strategy is going to be just to create like numerous of goals. And the strategy is going to be through all kind of goals. They really want to attract this material world from every goal. And for those who was born on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd, the strategy is going to be they really want to put everything in a logical way and to make sure it's they can bring to the world their usefulness. I mean, everything they need to be with this kind of purpose. Yeah, I would say. For number 6, 15, 24th, it's group number 6. They really want to go through the way of comfort. The strategy is going to be to create the comfort, but only for themselves.
So their strategy is all about money for me, nice pillow for me, and good relationship for me, and that is tiring sometimes. I have people around that like this.
Yeah, and for our group with Svetlana, because we're both in group 7, our strategy is going to be fast realization and get recognition right away. We don't want to wait a second. And for those who was born on 8th, 17th, or 28th, Every movement needs to be like equal to money. They really want to control, yes, control this material world.
And their
And for
pocket,
number,
the cash
yes, and
in their hands.
yes, and number 18, or 27th, they really want to win everywhere. The strategy is gonna be, I'm the first one in everything.
Those
And
are
this
the
is like,
pusher ones and then the warrior-like ones, but they also love to protect people and create ideas for mutually beneficial exchange. And so, because we all want something that is given
yes,
to us by universe, we're constantly going for it, whether we know about it or not, and we create a strategy like that. But the problem is we're conflicted by our own ideas and our own actions. You need to have goal oriented. If you want something, go for it, but we usually go to different directions. And so to conquer the territory, you need to know where to go, right? You
yeah,
can conquer the territory in concentric circles, but it'll take a lot of time. If you go straight, you might get there much faster. And so for the firefly, and I use this card to identify the fears of my clients, because usually they don't say, I am very stuck. They don't say that. They don't say, oh, I'm scared that I'm going to lose everything if I do something different. So that helps them to playfully identify their fear. But there is also a solution on the card. I succeed when I focus on my vision. Isn't that the strategy number one? Today card is very on target. And I trust my potential. Your potential is your Syucai matrix, your birthday matrix and months and year. And identification of all those numbers gives you a secret code to success. And I find my purpose. And my purpose is in my mission usually, but not really, because there is a formula of success and happiness that we're not sharing right now, right this moment, but you can get in your personal consultation. And I create if I have all the time and the money that I need. So I don't wait when I have money. I create as if I already have all of it, which is the state, right? We started with that. The state of fear or the state of courage. So who would you rather be? The conqueror with the courage, or the stuck a little goat on a little tied up to the coal, to the stick, scared of everything that is around? That's your choice. How should I be? What's my next step? Where am I stepping? Who I'm with? And why am I doing it? What's my strategy? That's what we wanted to share for today. Anything else, Vasily?
no, I really just want to add that, guys, we're here to answer any questions. You can ask any questions, and we're gonna respond to you. Like during our webinars, during our days, yeah, using our audio files, our audio opportunity, video opportunities, or tools, and be active, because we have this opportunity today. We don't know what's going to be tomorrow. This is true. Yeah, we don't know that's tomorrow. And really, we need to take
We don't know what's
advantage.
today. We only know this moment.
Yes, yes.
So to
Yeah,
hope that something will become known is illusionary. It will become
yes.
known after you step into that unknown, you live through that, you look back and you say, I should have done better. No, you've done your best because that's what you knew at the time. Now, after the experience, you have much bigger knowing. And so conquering the territory is conquering the experience of life. Otherwise, what's the point, right? So I want to give you an exercise. You can do it anytime, even if you're in a public place. You bring your hands up and you say, I can,
I
and I
can.
will. And of
I
course, you can,
will.
yeah, you can add any phrase to it. You can say, I'm leading myself to the new territory. I'm doing this. I'm trying it. You can do anything you want. But what happens when you bring your hands up? Your diaphragm opens up. You take a breath and your state changes to more resourceful state. And that's what you're doing. First the state and then the doing. The being is the state. The doing comes from the being, not the other way around.
Yes, 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 yes,
All
yes.
right. So do you feel completed?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
And we still have like whole month up front.
We'll talk more, but please participate. I will post the themes for your topics, but feel free to choose your own theme, because maybe I'm not the leader of your life. You are. Maybe you know something I didn't think about, and maybe your topic would be even more interesting for you and for me. So please take charge
and feel free. And feel free.
And feel free. All right. Thank you, Vasily. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Thank you,
Anna, for your enthusiasm. And we'll do your talk. We will schedule your talk whenever you're ready. And we'll continue this month of conquering the territory of our fears and our dreams and becoming that what we want to be in every moment.